Hey everybody, welcome back to the blog and happy Twisted Tuesday. Thanks for coming by. I thought we'd have some fun today and do a little video blog about using a coiling gizmo. We had a lot of fun with these last weekend at Bead Fest, and we had a lot of trouble with these last weekend at Bead Fest. So I thought it would be fun to do a little tutorial, show you how I use them, and then what to do in some of those problem places. So we'll start with the kind that I use. It actually is the coiling gizmo. I got mine at Parawire. I know there's lots of different ones around, so just use whatever one you can find. They come with two different size mandrels, a bigger one and a littler one. I like the littler one. And you can coil pretty much any gauge wire on here. I'm just using some 20 gauge right now. And I'm going to do it in red. You can coil off the spool. I don't usually, unless I'm down to like bare minimum amount of wire left on the spool. If this was full, it would be a pain to try to coil with it, and I just cut a couple feet off instead, but we're close to the end. So what you want to do is anchor the wire with a couple of wraps around the little U part in the mandrel, and then you're going to pop your mandrel into your bracket that comes with it. Now the one that I have has a bracket with a hole and a screw, so you can mount it to your desk if you want, but I like to be able to hold it in my hand, so I don't have mine mounted to the desk, and I wouldn't recommend doing that because I like to be able to apply good pressure to the wire and the coil. I think it makes it cleaner and makes neater coils. So I grip it in my hand, kind of monster grip, but you don't want to grip it too hard. The wire should be able to flow through your finger and against the bracket here, and you just start coiling, and you'll see pretty quick it'll wind right up. You want to, as you're coiling, you don't want to be too stiff on here. It'll make it too tight around here. You just want to, even pressure. Let the coil build up, and as you're spinning, you're applying a little pressure this way, kind of pushing the coil so that it stays flat against the bracket. And so where you run into trouble is if you're sloppy and you're not applying enough pressure, you'll start to get gaps in the wire. Now, I'm sure my camera's not focusing on this for you, but maybe you can just see the shiny spots in there. To fix that, it's pretty easy. Just squeeze, and they're gone. I wouldn't let them build up too much before squeezing them together. If there's too many gaps, it might not squeeze as nicely. So if you see one, just stop, squeeze it together, and then go back to coiling. Another problem, if you're chit-chatting, not paying attention, and you're just coiling away, you can get a big globby mess at times. So, and this does not mean the end of your coil. All you need to do, keep it kind of tight against there, pull, and uncoil it. I'll do that again. La-da-da, not paying attention, building up a wiry mess. Uncoiled. So, cool, huh? Now you're going along, you can make these coils as long as you need them. A lot of my tutorials have you make like a 6 or 7 inch long coil and then cut it into the smaller pieces that you need for a project. But you can coil 2 inches if you need it, or longer lengths if you want. So we'll go with this for now. And here's the part where we ran into trouble at Bead Fest. Normally we leave a tail, and then I have you with your nippers go in and snip the first link, and then you try to get the coil off, and this is what happens. It is seriously stuck. So we'll get this scrap bit out since we snipped that off. How do you get it off? Well, what you need to do, if you find that your coiler is one that gets stuck, don't snip it like I just told you to. What you need to do, no snipping, uncoil the anchor tail that you started with at the beginning, and kind of twist both tails in opposite directions. And that'll break some of the tension that the wire has on that mandrel, and it'll slip right off. So if you have a stuck coil like this one, it's not going to be pretty. You just need to get your chain nose pliers, you need to get in there, dig at the end without cutting yourself. I'm being a little too harsh with it. If you have a really strong hubby, you can hand it to him and say, honey, pull this off. But no, you can do it yourself. Just undo a length of the wire, go in opposite directions again, and it'll come off. So now you've got two tails on the end of a coil. What you need to do is trim them with your snippers. And you might have read in my book that I have you cut wire in the direction it's already going. And what that means, a lot of people have asked me this, is instead of going in and cutting perpendicular to the wire, since it's already going off in that direction, just take the plier or the snippers, line it up with the direction the wire is going, and cut that way. It makes a nice cut and makes the coil nice and flush. And I do that with all my cuts. Cut in the direction the wire is flowing. So now these coils, I've got a ton of them because I've actually tried to tape this for y'all a couple of times and the camera's not been working. But anyway, hopefully it worked this time, and I hope you enjoyed this little coiling gizmo tutorial. Give me a shout out or an email. Let me know what other types of tutorials you'd like to see on Twisted Tuesdays, and I'll see what I can do about that. Until then, have a good week, and I'll see you later. Bye.